Good.
Ooh, we're live.
Hey, what's up, Nikki D, Nicole Domuret?
What's up, girlfriend? I'm excited. I'm really excited about this. Are you excited, Staci? Like, can your butt even touch the chair because of the energy between your
No.
butt and the chair? It's
When
like,
you see me like doing this, moving all over the place.
it's crazy. It's crazy right now.
We are sitting in the seat of royalty. So
We are.
Which one of us is sitting in John's seat and which one of us is sitting in Nadia's seat?
I don't know, but we need to channel Nadia for sure.
Well, I'm taking my butt cheeks so that I have better posture and more glowing skin. There we go.
Incredible. Have you seen their stories? If anybody hasn't checked out John and Nadia's stories, John especially has put up some incredible shots of Europe, and it is gorgeous. They're having so much fun.
Make me jealous.
Beautiful.
It's okay. I actually just pulled up my phone to check and make sure that we were streaming in the right place, because when I set up a stream, there's always the potential that I got it wrong, but I forgot that I didn't set this up. So we're good.
I know. When it's in the hands of Desi and Bem, then everything is incredible and impeccable.
Why are we here, Nicole? Should we share this with people so that they know what's up?
They're like, get on with it. You're not John and Nadia. What the heck? Okay, so listen, we have a blueprint that is going to blow your mind. It's going to, what do I say, Staci? Blow your socks up. It's going to flip your biscuits, because everybody's been, well, right? But for about 6 months now, people have been under the current of that big old tidal wave of all the reels and TikToks that a year and a half ago was making people explode, right? Like in viral reels. And then over the last 6 months, they're caught in the undercurrent and they can't get out of it. And we decided to roll our sleeves up and get in the lab and figure out how to actually make a comeback that lasts. And we're going to share that blueprint with you. So you need to get your pen and paper out, because this is going to be really powerful.
I am super excited. Absolutely. And so, yes, thank you, John and Nadia, for letting us take the helm today. We are going to bring the goods. I hope you have a pen and paper with you. This is the blueprint that we've used to more than triple our personal sales in the last 30 days. So, I mean, I would, first of all, if you know anyone who could benefit from learning how to triple their sales in the next 30 days, you need to tag them up right about now, or share this out, or whatever you can do to get, these people to see this. Because, I mean, what would it be like for those of you who have teams if more people on your teams suddenly started tripling their sales? What could that mean for you? Curious. Drop a comment. Let us know. Triple, more than triple. That's a lot if you think about it, right? So we're going to dish the goods today on that. In particular, Nicole already mentioned, so I want to just start here because I think it's so important. We came off a social media gold rush where people were posting and praying a whole lot, and they were actually getting results from it. So some of you may know, let us know in the comments if this was you. You were able to follow all the trends. You were able to save the trending sounds, watch what everyone else was doing, dissect it. You were doing instead of funnel hacking, you were doing like TikTok hacking. So you would see exactly what they were doing to get results, and then you would just copy it, right? That's what we were taught to do. Everyone was doing it, and people were banking.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. Yeah. So like Nicole said, we put on our lab coats and we started testing stuff out. So we will start new accounts. We will push boundaries. We will see what gets us in trouble. We will see what gets us results. And then we come back and we share the things that blow up for us and work really well for us personally, because we know if we can get results with it, both of us, and with the people that we work with, it's going to work for you too. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So Staci reached out to me, I guess about, Staci, it wasn't quite 2 months ago. And she's like, right. Where were we? We were at the convention. We were at the convention. And you're like, this is what I'm doing. And you took off for a little bit to do a live. I'm like, what's she doing? Because let me just back up for a second, because I want you to understand something. I had a massive account over on TikTok a year ago. It was great. And it was converting really, really well. And you know what? I was excited about it. And then one day I woke up and my account had been shut down with no appeal. lost everything. And it was tough. It was tough for me. And so I took a big break from TikTok. I took a year break, and I kept telling Staci, I don't know if I want to go back. What did I call TikTok, Staci?
A punk.
I called it a punk, man. I'm like, forget it. I'm not dealing with that punk. And so I took a break. And then I saw her going live. She goes, excuse me, I'm going to walk over here just for a few minutes, Nicole. I'll be back in just a few minutes. And then I saw her going live, just like talking to all these people. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I started a new TikTok. I'm like, you what? What? And I kept thinking, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going that avenue again. I'm donezies, not happening, over. And then I asked, I guess when we got back like 2 weeks later, I said, so how's it going? She goes, well, I think I figured it out. People really now understand that they want someone that's authentic, that's not hiding behind a product, that's not hiding behind a company, that really has something they struggled with that they're overcoming currently, or that they've overcome, that they could talk about without being an expert, but being an authority. I'm like, whoa, okay. My eyeballs are looking at you and my ear holes are open. What are you saying to me? So I decided to jump in. I took a deep breath, and I got to be open with you. I was really nervous because I had PTSD. I'm like, do I want to go down this road again with people and TikTok? Mm-hmm. And I started it, and I took Staci's advice, and I had the same experience that Staci had. So just so you know, Staci and I were able to build these enormous accounts that took us 2 years to build 2 years ago to get to the status we were. And we were able to build to over 50,000 in a month.
Yep.
And it's not because we're extraordinary. I didn't use my last name because I actually have a wanted sign with TikTok, so I can't use my last name. They don't even let me use it anymore because there's so many bots out there with my name. I had to use my first name. So when I say that, that means I had zero influence, zero authority, but I had, like John Milton says, a miracle in my mouth. Mm-hmm. And that's what people are looking for. And they're looking for that authentic, genuine person that has a solution. So we are going to break that down right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because immediately as soon as you tell people, yeah, of course you can get to 50,000 in a month.
Exactly.
You're Staci and Nicole. I want you to understand, we both started brand new accounts with a different, like, nothing at all remotely similar to what we normally talk about in our marketing, intentionally, because we wanted to prove concept, not lean on influence. So much so that my first several videos, I actually said declaratively in my videos, I have zero credentials. Those were my words, right, Nicole? Yeah. I have zero credentials. I'm not an expert. I have no letters.
I have no letters behind my name.
I'm not a guru. So if you're looking for that, keep on scrolling. I said intentionally because I didn't want to lean on influence, because
and that's high posture. That's posture. That's posture.
Right. And so the fact that Nicole took my blueprint, put it into action, and got the same results almost to the letter, really. I mean, very similar, proves that it works, right? And so we're going to give that to you today. But you have to understand, she implemented like a champion. See, one of the things that Nicole and I do incredibly well is we implement like maniacs. We're early adopters. We don't wait. We go messy and we clean it up as we go. And we go hard. We implement. We're disciplined. So I know, and the reason why people will say to us all the time, why are you sharing this blueprint? You could totally create a course and charge for it. Yes, we could. Maybe we will. But here's why. Because we know that only maybe 10% of you are actually going to do what we tell you. The reality, if all of you did, you would all get results. But we know human nature. Unfortunately.
Right, we do. It's true. It's kind of like when you're talking to people about their products and they're saying it's not working, and you find out that they're not taking them. 95% of the people that are saying they're not working are not taking the products, but it's the same with your business. So if you are already getting value with this, make sure that you are sharing this out to your teammates, please, because they need to hear this message. You want to have a team full of customer acquisitioners. Is that a word? If it's not, I coin it. Acquirers. Acquisitioners sounds good though. It's kind of a cool word.
It sounds more
but it's props, right? So I want you to do that. Please do a favor for yourself and your team. Share this out to them. They need to know this because we're breaking it down now. Pins up, paper out. we're gonna break this open for you right now. We're gonna tell you what's happening
Right
over.
here. Right here.
Okay, I'm gonna hand it back over to you. I'll follow you.
I got my pen. All right. So number 1 on the blueprint, write it down. We got 5 steps for you. We're going to go through them fast because we have a lot to cover. Number 1, you need to know your one thing. This is really important. It starts here and it ends here. So if you don't get this, the rest is not going to matter. Please. One thing. It used to be that we used to teach people, find 4 or 5 things you're really passionate about and make content around those things. That might still work, maybe a little on Facebook, Instagram, maybe not so much. A little. But on TikTok, it's the kiss of death. It's the kiss of death. TikTok wants you to be a one-trick pony. Give TikTok what it wants and it will reward you. So that means you need to figure out one single solitary thing that is your message. You need to drill it down to the micro niche level. And this is what I actually said to Nicole. I said, I started a new TikTok account and I'm micro niching. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'm literally talking about one subject over and over and over and over again from every possible angle. And that is all I'm talking about. I don't divert into the right field. I don't divert into the left field. I am hyper focused on one single topic. For example, some of you might be like, okay, I'm a single dad and I'm going to talk about all the things about being a single dad. Too general. It sounds niched. It sounds niche compared to what everyone else is doing because you're talking about issues pertaining only to single dads. But what I'm talking about is a single dad raising Christian teenage daughters. Drill down to the micro niche. And then every single video you make is going to be tackling that little topic from every angle. You see what I'm talking about? So you need to first and foremost figure out what is your one thing. So Nicole, can we quickly share with them some questions maybe they can ask themselves to figure out what that should be for them?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is really important. You need to write this down right now, because if you haven't actually done this exercise, this is not only going to help you micro niche, but it's going to help you love what you do. We want you to have fun. We want you to really enjoy what you do. We want you to actually be passionate about it, but it's very hard to be passionate about something that you're not invested in because you're not in it. You're doing what you see other people do, but you're mimicking something that's already been done because you see them succeeding, but it's not you, right? You're trying to become a chameleon. You need to be you. So in order to do that, you have to look at the people that are just one step behind you. How do you do that? So create 3 columns. In that first column, I want you to write things down that you have prioritized in your life. What are things that you would never get up for anything? You would never give it up in a million years because you love it. And it could be a hobby, it could be your faith, it could be your family, it could be something that you absolutely love. And you've spent a lot of time, you've invested in it. This is who you are. This is the makeup of who you are. Another column, right? Second column, I want you to talk about the things that you're good at. What are you good at? You actually could take like several post-it notes and write down things that you're good at. You could be making quick, healthy meals in 10 minutes. Maybe you know how to meal prep. Maybe you know how to make the absolute best smoothies on the planet. Maybe you know how to talk to teenage daughters who are struggling with their menstrual cycle. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Oh my God. Do you understand? Let me listen. Oh my gosh. Whew, I'm getting excited because it's one thing. And you are talking to a passing parade. You are not talking to a standing army. And that is very powerful that you never forget that. So if you're good at that, like you've overcome that, like you and your daughter were having a bad relationship and then you realized, oh my gosh, she's going through things that I went through, or maybe you're going through menstrual issues. And then you realize, oh my gosh, my mother had those same issues and I never saw it because nobody ever talked about hormone issues 30 years ago. Now I'm going through it and I'm going to reconnect with my child. One thing, right? That you're good at, because it doesn't mean that you've totally overcome it, but you're good at it because you're practicing every single day. It's important to you. And then that third call them. What have you overcome? You're never going to speak from wounds. You're going to speak from scars, because leadership involves people that can speak the truth without someone being concerned about you. If you're crying about it, you're probably not ready to talk about it. But if you have overcome something, then you have something that is so precious, so valuable for so many people that are scrolling and wanting to be entertained. But at the same time, what's really going to stop their scroll is something that's going to make their life better. It could be more entertaining as well, but it's going to start changing those little things that's kept them from their highest potential each day. And you have the answer. Why? Because you've been through it and you're going through it right now. So that's where you understanding your audience is going to come into play. And this is probably the most vital part.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're already getting questions. And Krista, you're asking, are you building relationships later? We're going to share with you what the flow looks like. Okay. Because that's actually a really smart question. And it's all about conversations. We all know that, right? So we will explain that. But, further to what Nicole's talking about, once you figure out what that is, if you just do a brain dump, you'll probably know through the process of brain dumping. Don't edit yourself. Something will percolate to the surface that'll just feel right. For most people, that tends to happen. And there are some things that just are, I don't know that I'd really like talking about that nonstop. A lot of times it has to do with something you're edified for in your own circle too. Like people are always saying, Nicole's really good at this and Nicole's really good at that. That will help you figure it out. What do your friends edify you for? There's a clue there probably, right? So then once you figure that out, and there's no wrong answer, by the way. Somebody asked, how many accounts should you have? This isn't a shoulda, woulda. It's whatever you want. Like I didn't intentionally want to have more than one account. It was just necessary for me to micro niche where I wanted to micro niche, because it was vastly different than what I was talking about before. So the people who see my normal trainings, most of them don't even know about it. That's it with intention, right? Because I'm in a totally different direction. For some of you, you may not need to do that. Your existing account may be so close to what you want to talk about that you actually just need to drill it down with more precision and push a little bit more out. You might not need to change direction, right? It just depends on where you're coming from. So the next step in the equation is knowing who it is you're trying to attract. It should become super clear. Mm-hmm. Once you know what your micro niche is, it should be very clear to you who wants that. Who is it you're trying to talk to? Who is that? It's going to be you a few steps ago. You're going to attract a bunch of mini-me's who are a couple of steps behind you, and you're just actually extending your hand and helping them up to where you currently are. And that's why you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be an influencer. You create influence and authority with your perfect audience because they know that you get them because you are them.
Yes.
Just a little further along. It's so congruent, right? So that's the next piece of the puzzle. So that's number 2. Number 1, you have to know your one thing. Drill it down to the micro level. Number 2, know who you are, because that's who you're trying to attract. 2 steps ago. Be very clear about that. You want to use the language you actually use. Don't homogenize how you speak to attract more people. That's the kiss of death. Show up truly how you are so that you can repel the wrong ones. That's so key to success at this. If you're scared of repelling people, you will never attract people who are so magnetized to you that they want to buy everything you suggest and they want to join you. In order to get that magnetic kind of relationship with your audience, you have to be boldly you, unapologetically you, which means by default, you need to make friends with repelling the wrong people. It's so important.
It's powerful, actually, because you don't want people reaching out to you that's going to combat everything that you say. You want the people that it just makes sense, because making the sell at the end is going to be a no-brainer if you're doing it properly. There's no convincing in network marketing ever. It's always inspirational. It's always inspirational. If you can inspire the person just like you, they will do whatever you want. As a matter of fact, if they know your story, they will jump in front of a bus for you. And this is where you start building it. Now, how do you do that? Step number 3, we're going to talk about going, number 1, face to camera. And of course, you're doing that if you're doing Reels and you're doing TikTok. But how do you do it? How do you do it in 15 seconds? Am I pointing to this word? Am I pointing to that word? Am I using trends? No, ma'am. No, sir. Never again. You do not need trending music or trending sounds or trending videos. None of that. People they're savvy. They know what they want. They know what's going to help them. And it's not people hiding behind trends. We're not doing that anymore. So what can you do? My most powerful videos are 3 minutes long because I'm giving very valuable information. Yes, I can do it in 1 minute, and I do. But most of my videos that go viral, they're 3 minutes, and I'm giving very precise information that they're listening to going, that's me. At the end of that video, if they're like, that's me, you have an adoring fan. You're irresistible to them, because one thing that you want to always be aware of is that they don't feel alone. A lot of people, and whatever they're going through or whatever they're experiencing, they feel like they can't talk about it because there's no one that's experienced it, that's in their circle, or that aren't supporting it, or they feel like a broken record. But now it's your turn to be a broken record.
It's great.
I'm not joking. You be a broken record. You talk about the same thing. Even if you have 50 videos and you're talking about the same thing and you're just coming at it from a different angle and adding a value here and a value there, they're going to watch it because you are answering that one thing that's keeping them up at night. Nobody's laying in bed not being able to sleep because of a million things. It could be a million things going on in their life, but I guarantee you, as a human being, they're laying in bed thinking of the one thing that's keeping them from their highest potential. And that one thing is going to be answered and offered from you. You pull them to the pain point and then you offer them a solution. You become a problem solver. Now, how do you do that when you go face to camera? When you go face to camera, what do they see? They see the real you. You're not hiding behind a product. You're not hiding behind a company. You're not hiding behind anything. You are you. That's why you're going to repel the people that like, hey, just get to the point. Hey, what are you talking about? Hey, this isn't valuable. You're like, good, go, bye, see you. You don't need them because they're not you. You're always going to get people to say, that's me, when you are showing up boldly, unapologetic, like Staci said. But again, like John says, with a miracle in your mouth, with compassion, with love, with understanding, but really without being vanilla. You got to show up bold. Share the things that are vulnerable. Share the things that make you uniquely you, because there are 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 women, men out there just like you, walking around looking for the solution that you have.
Right.
And you have it and you're ready to share it. So oh, I'm excited about this. When you go face to camera, we're breaking this formula down. What's the next thing that happens, Staci, when you're making those videos that's going to catch them and stop that scroll?
Yeah, I'm going to share that. I just want to address a couple of the comments. But first and foremost, I want to also mention, because Nicole said most of her videos are 3 minutes long. Same for me, right? Same. They're longer winded. We're sharing more value. We'll talk about what that looks like in a second. But the benefit of that is no more trying to get that 7-second perfect video or that 15-second video. You can say what you need to say, and you don't have to edit the bejeepers out of it. You don't need it's stream of consciousness. It's okay to be you. You don't have to, there's no perfection required. In fact, it's going to work against you if you're overly polished. That's how it is now. People want genuine connection. They do not want the glossed over, filtered version of you anymore. I went live on TikTok last night in my robe.
Sure.
No makeup. Anyway, we'll get to that. So here, step number 3 is your structure, right? So you had number 1 was drill down your message. Number 2, know who you're trying to attract. And number 3 is your structure, okay? And so Nicole told you the most important piece of that, which is going face to camera. So what is the basic breakdown? Here is what I pretty much do on every single one of my videos. I have an enticing first sentence. Nicole does too. We do the same thing. An enticing first sentence. For example, I've got 3 tips to help you sleep better starting tonight. And tip number 3 is something you've never heard before. Okay. And I'm going to write that in text on the video, right beneath my chin, right about here. I find personally it works better for me right there than here.
Yes.
You too?
Their eyes always go there. Yes.
Right. So I've been putting it here, and it will have a shorter version of what I just said to stop the scroll. Right? So then once I've told them what I'm about to share, then I stop for a second. So I'll say, I've got 3 tips for you to help you sleep better starting tonight. The third one is something you never heard before. And I say it like that, like fun. Okay. Be you, in other words. If you're not fun, then I guess don't be fun. I hope you're
Yes. Use your language. Be you. That's so
right.
important. Yeah.
So then I stop for a beat and I say, if you're new to me, my name is Staci Hall and I believe, whatever your one thing is. Whatever your one thing is, tell them very briefly, very briefly, very briefly. And then say, okay, so those 3 tips. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And then you're going to wrap it up by whatever your normal way of speaking is. I hope that helps. Hope that was helpful. Make sure you click follow to get more tips like this. And by the way, if you would like to get my 3 tips with an explanation of how exactly to implement that, drop the word sleep in the comments and I'm going to fill you in.
CTA it, baby. You got to have a call to action and you got to point to it.
That's the exact structure I do in every video, and it is paying me, paying me, paying me.
Yes, I have 2 things to speak on here. So Lisa is asking, so how do we add value and convert if it doesn't relate to health or weight loss? So Lisa, this is going to blow light bulbs. You're going to
love that question.
I do too. You take the products that you take because they make you better at what you do. So if you are good at this one thing and you can talk about it, and it's going to help solve a problem for someone, then why wouldn't you tell them that this is how you have the energy? This is how you show up. And see, this is all going to happen if you're not at 1,000 yet. We're going to break this down. If you're not at 1,000, Staci and I weren't brand new accounts, y'all. We had to get to 1,000 to go live because live is where the profit is, right? So we had to get to live. How did we do that? We were posting 1 to 2, sometimes 3 videos a day, and don't sweat it. You don't have to do 3, but we wanted to get to 1,000 quickly. So we were always putting the value out there. If it spoke to us and it helped us, then we're making a 1 to 3 minute video. We're putting it up, and then we're going on our merry way, always pointing back to, hey, listen to this. TikTok gives you such a wonderful thing here. Follow me for more tips. Underneath that, it gives you the option of video. Click on the video and share another video that may have done better. It's the same video of what you're talking about right now. But hey, if you want to grab my full list of the things at XYZ, then watch this video. You can always point them back to other traffic, and they will. And that's how you get those fans that find you irresistible because they see what you're about. So Lisa, if you want to talk about your daughter that is that had a lot of issues at school, and now you've helped her with her menstrual issues, and now her hormonal balance, and now you're helping her.
Talking about this today.
I don't know, but I don't know why it came up. Maybe because it's what I just had that conversation with my daughter. But and it's not even my subject, right? But it could be. I could add this to a live easily, even if I'm talking about my book club because I love reading this book, and this is why I love this book. But this is who I am. This is what makes me who I am. So just understand, when you're talking to people, when you're sharing things, you can mumble. Mumble is your best friend. Mumbling the products is going to help you build that adoring fan base. And then when you finally get to 1,000 people, you can go live, and that's where the magic happens, because then you can pull them in so much tighter.
Yeah. I always call social media an ecosystem. I think it's a big mistake to treat each platform as just a separate entity. And even within TikTok, there's an ecosystem. So, the lives will play with the posts, and the posts. Sometimes I'll take, if I'm getting a lot of leads on a TikTok, on a post I'm trying to differentiate from the lives, on a video that I posted on TikTok, I will take that video and I will put it in my stories, and you'll start getting leads in your stories on TikTok. And obviously you only have 24 hours, but that's a whole new role of leads. So it's an ecosystem like anything else, and you're kind of hitting it from all cylinders. But when you go live, that's when people get an opportunity to really hang out with you and learn to fall in love with you. And you will notice that when you start to go live, all of your videos start to increase in views, all of them from the beginning up. So I started, and I know, Nicole, we have basically the same strategy. Share a video, give it a chance to percolate. Go and engage first. Always engage on any platform. Engage before you post. That's just good common sense. Okay. Engage, go and comment on other people's things, follow good accounts, love on people, give what you want to get, post, give it a chance to percolate for 15, 20 minutes, maybe longer, depends on your situation. Go live. Go live. Don't overplan it. Whenever I come to a live with a plan, it never gets executed because you don't know what your audience is going to do. Sometimes they just hit you with a ton of questions and it ends up being more of a Q&A. Sometimes they're not asking a lot of questions and you share more stuff, right? Once you're done your live, and on your live, we'll talk about what to do on the live in a second. But once you're done the live, go back and answer a question from another video with a video response. So find somewhere where somebody's commented on one of your recent videos, asking a question or saying something controversial, saying something that you feel you could address, and then click that video button in the comments that will allow you to reply to that question on video, and then post that sucker. Because you see what you're doing is you're jumping on board every possible way to continue being relevant and to continue being circulated as much as you can. And then once I'm done posting, then I will go and answer other comments, go and engage a little bit so that TikTok sees I'm in it to win it. I'm not just in it for me. I'm actually answering all the comments people are leaving. I care about people who are following me, but I'm also engaging on other creators' content because I care about the platform. They're going to reward you for behavior that they want to encourage. So do what they want, you will win. So that's the basic structure. Now I know people want to know, what are we supposed to say? What are we supposed to post? What does the live look like? We'll give you as much as we can. We can't give you a master class in 45 minutes, but we're going to give you as much as we can.
Yeah, and so Jen Acosta, I love you, Jen. You're amazing, and she has so much value. So you're absolutely right. All eyeballs on you. So when you have a video that's doing well, what should you do with it? It should be everywhere, right? It should be everywhere. And you could take this video, like Jen says, and you could take it and put it in your TikTok stories. Mm-hmm. More eyeballs are going to be captured that way as well. It's not just the people that are watching you, but it will pick up another audience. So that's a great question.
You do that actually, Nicole.
Yeah, you can. Oh, I thought okay. Yes, you can. You can. Now, we don't use it as often because we do realize that we are building the fan base and they're going to keep coming back to our page because people aren't quite still using the stories as much as they are just scrolling through the thread. Because when they open their TikTok, whatever pops up first is the first video they see, and then they just start scrolling. So we have to understand they have a scroll mentality. They are distracted 75%. No, I take that back. 85% of the time. 85% of their brain is in distraction mode when they're on TikTok, when they're on TikTok, because they are either making dinner, they're getting gas in their car, they're changing a poopy diaper, they're at work and they're not even supposed to be on TikTok. They're sitting there and they're listening to their husband talk to them, but they're actually scrolling and they shouldn't be. So understand that they're not really paying attention. So you have to stop the scroll by giving them something that pulls them in, that reminds them of themselves. This is what people are looking for. So yes, you can use stories. However, I think that what people know and what they're looking for, they're not savvy marketers. They're just normal, average human beings that are looking for an answer that's going to make their life better. That's it. And they don't even realize that's what they're looking for. They don't even realize that.
I'm going to answer her quickly, though, because I understand. Jen, what I do is if I have one that's performing well, I download it onto my camera roll and I upload it into my stories. And I absolutely get leads from it. My attitude is just like, why not?
No, exactly.
Right? It's an ecosystem, but it's not driving the majority of my income. but I kind of feel like I'm always an early adopter because I figure it's either the feature's either going to go away or it's going to blow up. And if it
Right.
blows up, I want to be on the front of that wave. I want to be on the front of that crest. It's kind of how I,
You're always testing everything. You're absolutely right. So, Jen, that was an amazing question. Two more things before we move forward that I want to answer here. Tracy Franken says, how do you handle the first few lives with no one to interact with? Well, I remember when Staci first got started and she went live and she reached out to me and she goes, okay, I just had two people in my live and one stayed for 5 seconds. You have to get through that. Swallow that frog. This is great practice for you. Even if nobody's showing up, you're at that. It's going to change the longer you're on. So you can actually see 5 people watched it, right? And maybe they hopped on and hopped off, and then 10 people watched it and 20. But the longer you're on, people are going to be scrolling and see you again, and they're going to come back if you were more valuable than their scroll. So you can't forget that. That's very, very powerful. And one more thing.
Now they're over 200 most of the time for both.
Oh, we tend to sit between 200 and 300 average for the entire live. Even if it's like last night, I went for an hour and a half because I talk a lot. They never left. They never left because I was answering questions, and it's the value that they're searching for. They're hungry for it.
Mm-hmm.
So here is, do you have a business TikTok or personal? Staci has a business. I have a personal. We wanted to test it.
Intentional, because that way nobody can say it's because you have a creator account. No, I have a business. I don't use any trending sounds. I have zero use for them. In fact, I don't even put music on my TikToks anymore. I used to in the beginning of this account. And then I thought, you know what? I bet you it doesn't make a lick of difference. So I just stopped using the music altogether. I have I think 3 videos now over 1 million.
Yeah.
They don't care. They just want the value.
They just want the information. Exactly. That's so powerful. And again, we're not looking at you being an expert. For anybody that's dropping or hopping on right now, or if you haven't missed that, or you've missed it earlier, you don't have to have letters behind your name. You don't need to be a chiropractor or a real estate agent. What you're dropping is a type of value that helped you. What did you overcome? What are you good at? What is it that's going to make somebody's life better? And so when you can actually incorporate the products, because you're taking the products for a reason, baby, you're taking them because they're making you feel incredible, or whatever it is that you do, whatever you sell it not just because you want to make a profit. That's boring. Yes, we all want to make money, but we're doing it because we're finding the benefits. How does it make you a better person? How do you implement that? We can always turn it around and transition to that, especially in lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the biggest, most powerful lessons that I could bring to this conversation is to just let you know that your one thing doesn't have to have anything to do with what you sell or what your business is. This blows people's minds. You can literally go on TikTok or anywhere. This could be your everything on every platform and talk about gardening. Maybe you love, you're like total Marie Kondo, right? Where you just love organizing. You love decluttering, that's your bag. Oh my gosh, can you please move in with me, by the way? But anyway, that aside, you can totally have an account dedicated to just helping people reorganize their kitchen. Literally, I'm talking micro niche. I help people declutter and organize their kitchen so it functions more effectively. They can spend less time cooking and more time doing what they love. That's a niche. Mm-hmm. Okay. You could do that all ding dong day and you will sell the holy heck out of everything you've got. Because while you're organizing your kitchen, you can, if you wanted to talk about business, you could easily mumble, this is why I have a side gig. So I can spend all day doing this, which I totally love, and I don't have to worry about how I'm going to bankroll the extras. A quick little mumble. You can talk about how, you're organizing all day long and how it used to be hard for you because you're always down and up from the floor. And I found these amazing products so my knees don't crack anymore. Or found these amazing products so that this discomfort in my lower back isn't an issue anymore. Guys, we overcomplicate our lives. Talk about what you love. Don't worry about what you sell. The goal is to attract your posse, because if your posse is attracted to you because of who you are, might they also be interested in some of the same things you're interested in? Of course. Of course. And because they love you, they're going to take all your recommendations. The same thing
Yeah.
with me. I'm on TikTok all day long watching these people tell me about Lululemon dupes, right? I buy all of them. I buy all of them because I really like them and what they're doing, and they show me the clothes, and I'm so all about it that I actually go and buy what they're talking about. Do I even know what they do for a job? I have no idea. I'm just into the one thing they're sharing. So I'm taking all of their recommendations for all kinds of other things that don't have anything to do with how I found them originally, which might be makeup or whatever. I don't even know.
Right.
Once you like them, it doesn't matter.
Total no-brainer at that point. You know what? You just reminded me of a really great story. So I am a huge fan of Drew Barrymore. I mean, like, I girl crush on that woman. I love her so much. And so whatever she does, however she shows up on TikTok, I'm watching it because it makes me so happy because I love her so much. And you could be saying, but it's Drew Barrymore. She's a movie star. Yes, but I would never watch anything a Kardashian does, ever. I'm 100% repelled by them. So I'm not going to watch what they do. Right. But Drew Barrymore, super authentic, super goofy, reminds me of me. I love everything she does. So when she said, oh my gosh, I have a subscription to I'm like, oh,
right.
Oh, right. Okay. So right. Yes. So I love her. So last night when I went live, I said, you guys, I said, how many of you love Drew Barrymore? Listen to what I just did. It was like, heart, comment. I have pulled my people in so tight because most of them are my age. Most of them grew up with her just like I did, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And so they love her too. That's how tight you can get, that you think like them, that they think like you. They love the things that you love. Man, you're like best friends with like 1,000 people or 60,000. Right. And Staci and I are not someone that's like super duper talented. That's not what this is about. We were like, well, you can do it. Good for you. We were able to build from 0 to 60 in a month because we were giving something to them. They're the ones that are incredible. Right. They're the ones that are special. They're the ones that are amazing. They're the ones we're serving because they're the ones showing up looking for answers. They're the ones that are disciplined and consistent. See the difference?
And this is the really important nugget to take from this. It's not about the amount of followers we have. It's about how engaged they are with us. How many people are actually buying and impacting their lives. They're taking our recommendations, making purchases, implementing products into their life that are fundamentally changing their situation for the better.
Right.
Impact. So that's the most important piece of this puzzle. Yes, it helps us explode our businesses, but I keep looking at it going, look at all these people I'm in conversations with. I'm helping them. Like,
yes, it feels so good.
Feeling in the world. Yes.
Yes. And they're not going to be in the type of position where you are in a convincing game or they're combative. They're going to go, oh, I hate to bother you, but could you please share this one thing with me? Because I really love your TikToks and you're amazing. And your lives really help me. I look forward to them every night. Do you mind sending me? Who wouldn't want that prospect, right? And so this is where it builds. And you have to start from 0. And yes, you have to be consistent every day. And you have to not be triggered by numbers or the lack of views or the lack of engagement, because this is where it starts. You have to show up and divorce the outcome and marry the process. This is where the magic happens.
Right. So somebody's asking about the steps. So just to reiterate, number 1 was know your one thing, drill down to the micro level. Number 2, know who you're trying to reach. Number 3, structure your videos the right way. Number 4 is strategy, which we touched on, exactly like how engage, post, all of that. And number 5 is your live flow. So we touched on it a little bit, but maybe we can touch on it a bit more, Nicole.
Okay.
Live flow, really, the most important things for me, from my perspective, don't over prepare, but don't come completely unprepared, because if there's not a lot of people there, you want to be able to keep the conversation going till people arrive. It will take you time to build an audience, but you don't have to approach it like you do a Facebook Live, where you need to have your bullet points ready to go and you're just basically talking at the camera. You know, on TikTok, it's very interactive. People immediately, the culture there is they will immediately start commenting, and they will ask questions and they will make assertions and say things, and they're looking for that engagement from you. So
Yeah.
you don't need to prepare as much. But what you do need to remember as you're sharing value is to constantly reiterate who you are for the people hopping on, what you're talking about, how they can get in touch with you, and whatever your call to action is that night. Come prepared with that and reiterate that about, oh, I don't know, every 8 minutes, every 7 minutes for the entire time you're there. It won't upset the people who are on if you're brief. If you're Windy Winderson and you're just like flapping at the gums 24/7, then it'll get annoying. But if you're quick about it, say, hey, for those of you hopping on, my name is Staci Hall. I do this. And tonight we're talking about this. So if you have anything to add to the conversation, drop a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know what you think about this, that, and the next thing. And by the way, if you want to get in touch with me, you can hit up my profile. There's a place for you to contact me there. And if you would like XYZ, definitely make sure that you go there and text this word to this number or whatever your call to action is. Okay. It's going to be different for everyone.
I love this so much. Okay, Jennifer, you're getting it. The light bulbs are going off, aren't they? So she's like, I could focus on finding my own thing that went with what I sell. Instead, mom's taking their teens to amusement parks because my daughter and I have been amusement park junkies for years. Okay, so what do you do, Jennifer? I'm about to give you guys the freaking bonus. I wasn't going to even do this, but I have to because Jennifer said this. Listen to this. You can go to Google and you can invest, learn, teach. We learned that from Ray Higdon, right? You can Google. Google's your best friend here. So Jennifer, if you're going to micro niche that tight, then what are you going to do? You're going to go to Google and say, what are the, I don't know, the best amusement parks that are family friendly? Whatever most amusement parks are, but think of something that you've done. Jennifer, only you can answer this. When you go to amusement parks with your daughter and your junkies, there's probably something that you wish were an improvement, something that was better, something that would make it more fun. Maybe it's having fast pass and lines like Disney, or finding out how you can get discounts for fast pass instead of paying a gazillion dollars for them. And you're like, oh, by the way, when you're live, by the way, I found this incredible site where you can use this coupon to actually save 50% off on a fast pass for this park. And we actually just went to this park. It was amazing. Me and my daughter loved it. You can actually start rating these parks. But here's the really cool thing. Google whatever it is that you want improved. Google whatever it is about the amusement parks. Google whatever you want and then turn it into wallpaper and tell your audience when you go live. So listen, I have this really cool thing. I turn it into wallpaper so you can put it on your phone if you want. And whenever you're looking at it, you may be out and about going, oh, I was going to look into that one park, or I was going to find out if I could actually bring in glass, and whatever it is, whatever you know to be true, Jennifer, because you're really the authority on this, then you give them free giveaways. Hey, if you want this, happy that you're jumping on. Let me know where you're coming in from. Drop your name. My name is Nicole Domuret, and I am the mother of 5, wife to 1. I'm so excited that you're here. I help women. I help men. I help people, XYZ. By the way, if you haven't seen this, you can go up here in the corner, click on this, go to my link, and I have all these really cool giveaways for you. Or you can text me at this number if you have Project Broadcast. You can text me at this number, and I will give you that giveaway so you can always have it on your phone, make it a wallpaper, and boom. Your audience is going to love you for giving free giveaways that you've created that took you 5 minutes to create.
Yeah. And
that's value.
Always have calls to action. Right now, it's just working so well. It's crazy not to. And you have to remember that it's always a moving parade. There's no standing army. No one is standing in front of your account, auditing it every day. They're scrolling and stuff's popping up. So you literally should have a call to action on every video right now because you don't know what they're going to see. Right. And so if you have that kind of giveaway, let's say, for example, we'll take the example I gave of somebody who's talking all about gardening tips. Okay. And that's your whole account's all about gardening tips. And I would even niche down further and have it be like gardening tips for people who don't have a green thumb. Okay. Something like that. People who suck at gardening tips for losers, whatever. Okay. That would be me. I would watch. So let's just say that's your account. And you could easily mumble, oh, by the way, let's just say you're in health and wellness and you have an incredible body cream or incredible hand cream. And you're like, oh my gosh, gardening is so hard on your hands. I found this incredible cream it's the best thing ever. Like you would never even know that I gardened. My hands are so soft and by the way, they look so young. Like, Hands are a tell for your age, right, ladies? They look so young. Anyway, not what we're here for, but if you'd like to find out about that, drop the word cream in the comments. I'll fill you in. So back to what we were talking about. You mumble. And in fact, it's more powerful than if you're salesy. Don't be salesy. The less importance you place on it, the more leads you'll get. My husband laughs at me because in my lives, I will actually say, listen, you don't need to get what I use. You don't need to buy what I got. Here are some tips for you if you want to go to the store and get something else. I tell them, you know why? You're never going to find it because I'm going to tell them exactly what they need to look for. And I know it doesn't exist except in my product, but I'm going to tell them because then they trust me because they know that I'm not just there to make a sale. So I will overtly say that, listen, this is what I do. You don't need to do what I do. You do you, boo. But if you're going to go to Costco or wherever you're going to go, here's what you need to look for. Okay. And I tell them. So when the less importance you place on it, the more it's a mumble, the more an aside, like it doesn't even matter, the more leads you're going to get.
Amen. Woo. Okay. I have to answer Carissa. I'm going to use you as an example, Carissa. You are the perfect guinea pig right now for me. You say child-free by choice, army wife, dog mom / trainer, makeup. That's my thing. Is that too many things? Yes. You know the one thing that popped out to me? What's that?
Child-free by choice.
Well, no, that's not what popped out to me. But see what popped out to Staci did not pop out to me. What popped out to me was army wife, because you can get a very dedicated, right? Right. But it doesn't. But it doesn't mean anything to me too. But my son's going to the Air Force, so my life's going to change, right? My life's going to change. So I'm very cognizant of that. So army wife. I want you to realize that there are so many army wives out there that are struggling with something, and it could be something you've struggled with, that one thing that you've struggled with, but you've overcome. And it could be a relationship with your husband, or being able to build that bond when he's out on duty and you have a child. And how do you actually build that bond? Whatever it is, I don't, but you're an authority on that. You live it every single day. You could pull army wives in so very tight that they are so dedicated to you. Mm-hmm. But it could be any of those, but you need to choose just one. And I would say makeup would not be the one. Mm-mm. It would not be the one. No. Because people, makeup doesn't change someone's life. Makeup's amazing. It can make you very happy. And it's very entertaining to watch people do it properly and contour and highlight and all that thing, right? But when people are actually doing the makeup like they were doing 2 years ago, where they're putting their makeup on and they're getting all these sales, it wasn't because they were putting the makeup on. It was a conversation. Stories. Why? Right. While they were putting it on, they were pulled into the person across from them. If you could pull somebody in, and it's like being across the table and you're both drinking a glass of wine and you're sharing life, and what they're saying is so valuable to you and you're so drawn into it, that's the magic. It's not the thing they're doing. Right. But you see the point you just proved, though, because I'm Canadian and I don't have that same sort of cultural connection to Army. Right. Of course. Of course. That didn't speak to me. That's going to, so I'm not your audience. You will find your audience. But if you did something like childless by choice, the reason why that stood out to me is because I have friends who are childless by choice, and they get a lot of backlash and judgment from people. So there's a community of humans who would absolutely magnetize to you if you were talking about issues related to that. So again, coming back to the original comment we made at the very top of this, there's no wrong. It's just whatever you choose. It's just a decision. So you can't go wrong. You just make whatever choice you want to make. You can always pivot, right? You could start another account in 6 months and do something totally different. Nothing is permanent, friends. It's like there's no network marketing emergency. There's no TikTok emergencies. We're just having fun. So no. Oh my gosh, Carissa, yes. But the Army wives feel like they should have the children because most of them have like 4 or 5 kids, and they feel like they're a wallflower. They don't even know how to talk to these women. Most of their kids are homeschooled, whatever it is. Yes. And then I had somebody else that said, Staci, first time pregnancy. Are you kidding? That's huge. Right. That's huge. I would down even more. Like share your journey, first time pregnant as someone who struggled with fertility. Ooh. I'm pregnant as someone who thought they would never have children.
whatever.
First time pregnant of someone that lived with bulimia and anorexia. I mean, there's so many things.
Micro
niche.
Yeah.
Yes, micro niche. Exactly, Carissa, you're getting it. Army wife XYZ. What is it that you struggle with that you're overcoming that you can pull in a very tight audience with? You are a solution. It's incredible and it feels so empowering. This is the difference, and this is going to stick.
It becomes obvious what to talk about. Like people are saying, well, what's my content about? How could you not know? Like it's literally micro niche down to the cellular level. So literally you can only talk about that one thing. It shouldn't be complicated. When you have bookends like that, it actually is more freeing. The more options you have, the harder it is to make a decision on what to say. So now you know. And literally, I know I've shared this with a couple people and they're like, aren't you kind of making the same video over and over again? Yes, I kind of am.
Yes.
But it's from different perspectives, right?
Right.
And you know what? As long as the leads keep rolling in and people are still getting value and I'm helping them, we have winner chicken dinner. So there's our.
What do you think? There are over 4 billion people that are scrolling a day. In one day, 4 billion.
Yeah.
So you can't be fearful that you are a broken record or you sound like one, because there could be men that happen to stumble on your video that's having a really hard relationship with their wife, but you're talking about hormones, right? Or whatever it is. And they're like, I think I should send this to my wife. And because it's not about, here's a solution for being such a horrible wife, but hey, if you're not sleeping well, right? And he's like, oh, she's not sleeping well. This might be, and then she gets plugged into you. Think about all the other people. And so one of the most powerful things when you find that micro niche is that when you go live, you have to ask yourself this question. This is the most powerful thing that's going to really explode your TikTok. And that is my content shareable? And is my content savable? Because if they can't watch right now because they're at work or they're driving, but they heard the first few words like, oh, I got to listen to that, they're going to save. They know how to save. They save all day long and they're going to come back to you. Yeah. Or they know somebody that needs this and they share it out. Yeah. That's powerful.
Yeah. So what do you talk about? People keep saying, let's use the Army wife example because I know nothing about it so that I can just show you how easy this is. You could literally just say 3 resources if you're a new Army wife I wished I'd had when I got started or when I got married. That's very valuable.
Yeah.
It's powerful, it's savable, and it's shareable. Everyone's going to save that because they're going to
because their mother-in-law could have seen it and sent it to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So powerful.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. And so now Carissa's like, should I start new accounts or just start creating on my current account? What do you think, Staci? What's your answer to that?
It depends on what you're talking about right now, right? The only reason I say that is because you can always pivot and completely change direction, but just know that if you do that, a lot of the people that are following you now will unfollow and you'll attract new people, which is fine. But I look at it like, why mess with something that's currently success? I would just leave that there, not mess with it. Pivot over here. Now I've got 2 audiences, right? And that's how I look at it. Why would I ever mess up something that's working just because I want to pivot? I'm just going to let that be because it's going to continue growing and go over here, right? So that's
right. And so somebody did ask, and I did answer it without answering it. And that is, should you use Project Broadcast? If you have Project Broadcast, you're currently using it. It's a very powerful tool. People like to text. And why is text important? Because a lot of your audience may not be on Facebook. A lot of your audience may not even have an Instagram account, but everybody has a phone or they wouldn't be looking at TikTok, right? So you have their number now. If they text you for more information about whatever you've asked them to reach out to you for. And when you have Project Broadcast, you can send them things because your reoccurring customers, they're the ones that are going to open their eyes. 38% of them are going to open their eyes to your business. If you are doing the right thing, and that is being consistent with following up with them. And I don't think there's a more powerful tool than Project Broadcast for being able to follow up. And it's not just sharing any type of like BOGOs or sales or promos. It's about checking up on them. But if you have a very micro niche audience, then what does that mean? When you follow up with them, you can send the same message to all of them. You don't have several different audiences. They're all looking for the same thing. They're all struggling with the same thing. So it makes it very scalable. and very quick to be able to respond to a lot of people, send things out, and you will get responses and you will start growing relationships with them on the back end. That's very, very powerful. So I always suggest, if you're not at 1,000 yet and you are on Project Broadcast, you can put that in your iHelp statement under your picture. That's perfectly fine to put the phone number there. Let them know what you do in there, and then you can drop the phone number. Staci has a business account, so she has email, but I have my email on my tap link. And so when I hit 1,000, they were able to go to my tap link and have my email and join, my free Facebook group. That's powerful. So if you want to take them one step closer to secure them and help them, you can offer a free Facebook group as well.
Yeah. So was that valuable? Let us know in the comments. I'm just going to quickly answer a couple questions, and we got to turf out, because this is a lot of information you need to implement.
Yeah.
So how often do we go live? Air day.
Every day.
Every single day. If you want to triple your sales in the next 30 days, commit to going live every day. Do it for 30 days. And then you tell me, reach out to us if it doesn't transform your business. I will be shocked. If you implement what we're saying and you don't get the same results we get, I would be shocked. I really would. And I go live for at least a half an hour, typically between half an hour and an hour. I know that sounds like a lot, but remember, more people hop on after you've been on for 20 minutes or so. But also, you don't have to prepare and you don't have to be polished. I literally was in my robe last night, having a drink.
Oh yeah.
Out in my robe.
Yeah.
So the time just flies, because it's not like you're training.
Yeah, you're answering questions. It's like sitting with your girlfriends and jibber jabbering, or your guy friends, or whatever your audience. It doesn't have to be all girls or all guys. But here's one tip that I want to give you. Whenever you decide, if you decide what it is that you're going to micro niche down to, be very, very specific. This tip you don't know, and I'm about to share something golden with you. You need to go up where it says edit profile and where it says your name. And let's say, and here's the deal. If you're using a handle that doesn't have a name, if you need to change that, you need to be more personable. It should not be user 456789. Okay. You need a name, but I would use your first name, because that's all that's important, because we're pulling them in tight, right? And then I want you to put a slash. So let's say your name's Staci / whatever you're micro niching, or it's Carissa / childless army wife, whatever you want to say. But do you understand? That message is going to be thrown out to the audience, and they're going to see it.
Searchable.
It's very searchable. And if they search for something and they're looking for something, then your name's going to pop up. So it's very powerful to put your micro niche title. And I'm telling you, it has to be tight. Do not be ambiguous there. No. You've got to put that in there, and you will start getting leads of people following you.
If you put Julie, gardening pro, or Julie army wife, like something like that, right?
Right.
That's your name. When you edit your profile, that's your name. Username, two different things.
Yes.
Your username should just be your actual name.
Yes.
if you can, if you're Nicole and you're
great for clarifying. Yeah, Nicole could not use her last name, so I had to make up a name. And that's okay, because the name that I have suits me. It's a definition of who I am, so it works well.
Right. So, but you got to remember that. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, very important. Very important.
Your name has to be suitable. Boom.
Yes, this was awesome.
We just gave them all of our secrets. Who's going to go and implement this? Who's going to share this with their people? I want to know. Da, 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 da. All right. All right. Okay. Well, that's it, Nicole. It was awesome.
That's it.
I had a good
You're
time.
amazing.
Thank you.
You have to share this. Yes, put this in your chat groups with your team. It's totally shareable. It's going to help them get past that road, that little roadblock, that brick wall of, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this because nobody listens to me. It's crickets over there. It's just a matter of showing up and doing the same thing over and over, and do not be triggered by your results. That is the name of the game when it comes to any direct sales. You have to just show up and do, be disciplined. And I promise you, all eyeballs will start looking at you. They will pop their head up in your direction. Oop, I can't hear you.
Because I was muted. I was pulling the
It's
camera.
not just me. Woo! I love it. Okay.
Yeah, we're like lab techs, literally. We're like little science geeks. So definitely reach out and let us know how this works when you implement it, because we like to know how it pans out for you. But I have no doubt that if you do what we say, you will absolutely crush it. So hope you got value. Share it out. Thank you, John and Nadia, for letting us take the helm today. We so appreciate you. Thank you to, was it Bem who's on right now? Thank you for helping us out. We love you, and we'll see you guys in the feed. Bye for now.
Bye, guys. Take care.